The language of deceit, notes and extracts. The principles of elite schools. We want one class of persons to have a liberal education, and we want another class of persons, a very much larger class of necessity, in every society, to forego the privileges of a liberal education and fit themselves to perform specific, difficult manual tasks. Quote Woodrow Wilson, The Meaning of a Liberal Education, Address to the New York City High School Teachers Association, the 9th of January, 1909. Human development is now a result of the scientific social engineering of behaviors and responses. Elite private schools run to their own advantage, pride themselves on producing free thinkers who execute on their ambitious plans. Meanwhile, the permanently disenabled and ever more socialistic state system has placed an equality of outcome over a real equal opportunity of free choices. For the general population, soft skills have gradually replaced hard habits. Too often today, theories shield us from vital experiences. What follows is a simplified summary of the curriculum subject matter that places private school students in a far better position of being able to self-author their own futures with confidence. What is more, you should be able to quickly realize that the cost of an excellent education is simply the afforded result of the effort that you input. The principles. 1. The law of human nature. Students must have an in-depth knowledge of classical literature, history, physical and social geography, philosophy, theology, law, and language. In addition, students must be able to create a self-standing resource and locate and use a database. Even amend or extend it as required. 2. The active literacies and persuasion. Individuals must develop a high level of transactional writing to convey an idea, direction, or perspective. They must possess an advanced communicative discourse technique that allows them to articulate thought and opinion to individuals and groups, most especially to people whom they do not know or have not met. 3. Deep insight into institutions. A practical knowledge of the essential structures of society is vital. The courts, the government, the departments of state and their roles and their leaders, the military, the corporations, foundations and charities, and of course the banks and other financial institutions. 4. Repeated exercise in civility and politeness. An understanding of how our actions, especially manners, in the present affect our future possibilities. A concept of time that extends beyond the here and now. Understanding that the doors of tomorrow are opened by the actions of today, founded upon the habits of yesterday. 5. Resourcefulness. The ability to perform independent work. They must seek resources. Students choose their own topics, justify their own actions, develop their own rewards, and are creative when it is required. They must also learn to motivate themselves and be able to articulate the foundational reasoning underpinning their actions, to understand defense as much as attack. 6. Regular physical activity. Sports, both individual and team events, train the mind and body to appreciate the concepts of pain, conflict, grace, power, loss, competition, intention, and of course, money. They also give us experience of command presence, teamwork, and consequential influence. Play, as with experimentation, brings its own rewards. 7. Access to people and places. It is important to be able to network through contacts or even through contacts of contacts. In essence, to get to the horse's mouth. Planning a route to key people in key positions and key organizations can be very important in problematic circumstances. Middlemen often slow things down, confuse issues, or have other agendas. 8. Responsibility. The student must be internally motivated to deliver more than has been asked for. They must stretch themselves and extend their abilities, even pick up new skills as and when required. Universal morality requires that all blame lies somewhere with the self. 9. Development of a personal code. There must be an ability to produce reliable formal behavior when required, which may even mean on demand, and display an unflinching set of morals that develop the character of a person who can be depended upon by others, being true always to themselves. 10. Familiarity with art's great works. The student must be at ease with their own ability to discuss artistic issues and even become involved in or lead creative activity, often being able to reproduce or even extend parts of it. This includes music, painting, design, sculpture, architecture, and even various disciplines of dance. 11. Observation and recording. A person must be able to accurately record in scientific detail their environment and recall any changes that over time occur within it. Drawing sharpens perceptions and is linked to the philosophy that if you can't record it or reproduce it, then perhaps it is not really there at all. Measurement produces evidence. 12. An ability to deal with challenges. All students must overcome fears if they are to progress in physical, psychological, or spiritual development, and in the worst case scenario, be able to disguise or mask emotions. They must know that sooner or later death is inevitable. 13. To have caution in reasoning to conclusions. Each situation must be weighed and balanced on its own true merit. An ability to reach a decision without comparison is vital when the concept of a just and fair society is at stake. Rules are only relevant until they are no longer applicable. To be complete, each person must be able, alone and in conjunction with others, to make judgments, develop their own personal values, unique perspectives, and support opinions. Also, to follow up on all their own successes and failures. In general, all students must monitor and self-assess themselves so that they may make improvements in their own lives when it is required. Without growth, there is little or no life. Without risk, there is no value. Without change, there is no chance. And without self-belief, there can be no hope. The language of deceit. Notes and extracts.